Hi everyone, this is Teresa. I hope you all are doing well. Today I am going to talk as I could read the Bible in between the lines. I'm going to talk a particular passage when Jesus was in the desert, when Jesus decided to go in solitude and in isolation to look inside himself and to communicate with the universe because silence is a requirement if you want to hear the voice of the universe. So Jesus had that desire to isolate himself from the rest of the group, to go inside himself. At that particular moment, Jesus was revealed the last steps of his mission. He was revealed that he was going to be betrayed by two of his best friends, that he was going to be humiliated. He was going to be inflicted the worst pain, and he's going to die on a cross. At that moment, his last steps were revealed because that particular moment he was ready to receive that message that he already knew from the beginning. He already knew from the beginning that his mission was going to cause a big impact in humanity. He brought justice and he brought love. But at the same time, Jesus had a life, he had a family, he had friends, and he debated, he fought with devil because at that moment he had to make a choice to stick with his initial plan, with his mission, or to go back to his life. And it was a difficult decision, you know. He was the most beautiful soul ever to be in this planet, but he was in a human body. And we know all the temptations that we have as humans in this vessel. One thing important to say that the message, his last steps, were only revealed at that moment, and it makes a lot of sense. For me, it's a matter of logic. It was going to be no good for him to know the whole extent of his mission and the last steps of his mission as a young boy or as a young adult. Now, put yourself in his shoes. What a miserable life he was going to have if he knew that his mission was going to be one of the most painful ones. So that's why when he was in the desert, when he was ready, that information was revealed to him. He knew all along. He was picked by the universe, but also he was a volunteer. He's a very old soul, very trained, and he, of course, accomplished everything that he was here to do. So after Jesus made his decision to stick to his mission. He knew that his path was going to be a solitary path from that moment on. It's like for everyone. It's a moment in our lives that we know that we need to proceed alone, and sometimes we can proceed with friends and with family. But for that particular mission, he knew that he had to proceed alone. He knew that two of his best friends were going to betray him. Judas sold him, and Peter denied him. So when he came back, he already knew. But you see, he also understood that for a mission to be successful, we need other participants to help us. I'm sorry. And in his situation, two participants very close to him that betrayed him, that we see as villains, as enemies, we might we might think twice before coming to that conclusion, because in fact they were participants for the story to come to conclusion, for the story to happen the way it was supposed to happen from the beginning. So if we put yourself in Jesus' shoes and evaluate your life and see the people that cross your path, all the challenge that you have, sometimes the backstabbing, the misunderstandings, those people, they are participants in your life. I call them checkpoints. They are important checkpoints. And if you see them as participants in your life, you are fully understand the statement from Jesus, love your enemy. It took me a long time to understand this statement. Wow, how can I love somebody who caused me so much pain? But you have to love because that particular person is a checkpoint in your life. Once you overcome that challenge and you reflect and you digest what you went through, you understand that was totally necessary for my spiritual development. And Jesus understood that completely because guess what? Peter and Judas were invited and participated in the Last Supper. Jesus didn't take that as personal because at that point, he already knew his friends were going to betray him. But in fact, it was not a betrayal, it was part of his story. He understood that. Now, if I was, good English, please. If I were a participant in your life, if I cause suffering in your life, I want to ask you, can you forgive me? Maybe I was a participant in your life. You know, I'm not perfect, but I'm asking for forgiveness. I'm sorry if I caused you pain. Now, if you are a participant in my life, what I have to tell you, I completely understood and understand now your role. Sometimes it takes time to digest the lesson. I'm still digesting in here, but I can see the difference. I can see the learning, the spiritual development that I am going through right now. It's my journey for myself only, and I am going alone. So if you were a participant in my life, of course, I totally forgive you. Totally. And I think you did really good. Well, not really. But I want to say also, if you see your life this way, does it make it easier for you? I think these passages in the Bible, if we put the story, everything together, if we read in between the lines, it is a map how to navigate the future, how to navigate the new earth. Think about your life. Think about the moments, the challenges. Think about the people that challenge you. Think about how much stronger you came after that particular situation. It's all part of our development. It's all part of our individual story. The sad part is like it's an individual path. And sometimes we need to walk alone and leave others behind. But we keep people in our heart if we want to. Take the good. Don't be a bitter person. I think this is what I wanted to tell you today. Thank you so much for being part of my journey. Thank you for making me a better person every day. Now, do your job and be an inspiration for other people. Try to understand the challenge that were put in front of you. All right? I wish you all the best. Much love. Bye.